Shalom, and Toda Rabbah for being here, Rabbi. How many Rotary clubs have their own rabbi? Not many, but we do. Rabbi means my master or teacher. It's a title of dignity. Rabbi Daniel Weiner needs no introduction, as most of us know him as an esteemed member of our club. He is a rabbi at the revered Temple de Hirsch. I recently listened to a speech at our last district meeting in which over 500 members attended, and it moved me. It made me want to become Jewish. So he is my rabbi. How fitting is it to have our own rabbi to close our president's last meeting? His title, The Things We Share, Our Challenges, Our Efforts, and Our Future. Rabbi Weiner, the podium is yours.
High praise indeed. It is an honor to be here to share this very special day of tribute to President Sue Nixon and her tenure. Though it felt like a joyful rally after winning the big game, or even the classic election night celebration of the ballot box victor, the party-like gathering in the ballroom of Seattle's Edgewater Hotel reflected more, much more. Yes, there was ample reason to rejoice in the passing of Initiative 594, legislation mandating universal background checks for gun purchases in Washington state. The people had taken the need for change into their own hands, directly to the electorate, and out of the purview of legislators more beholden to the deep pockets of the gun lobby than the well-being of their constituents. And so there was a satisfying sense of vindication and having triumphed over the increasing cynicism born of the partisanship, polarization, and pecuniary interests of politics. But the clear and urgent need for this victory became apparent as Cheryl Stumbo took to the lectern. A survivor of the mass shooting at the Jewish Federation of Seattle in the summer of 2006, Cheryl campaigned tirelessly for this cause, less out of civic conviction than the ardent, urgent need to ensure that no one should suffer through her trauma. As Cheryl spoke, celebration morphed into gratitude for the fruits of a hard-won victory, but even more, for the affirmation that real, substantive, life-altering social change was still possible in our society, that essential values wielded with integrity and commitment could make our world better. I am immensely proud of the change we citizens have enacted in Washington state over the last few years. It reflects more than the success of mere political organization and strategy, though these played important roles. It also demonstrates the power of concerned and committed individuals and communities banding together to improve their lives and the lives of their neighbors. With initiatives supporting gun responsibility, same-sex marriage, a 15-hour minimum wage, and yes, even cannabis legislation, Washington is now far more progressive in the truest sense of the term than even my home state of California, the assumed gold standard for cutting-edge policy. Common sense forged through concerted action has brought profound change at a crucial moment in which the paralysis in that other Washington seems poised to endure, and Tip O'Neill's insight that all politics is local appears prescient. Yet despite pride and effort and achievement, all perspective cannot be local. To expand Dunn's poetic admonition, no state or region is an island, but part of a larger nation in which we are, for better or worse, dependent upon one another, contiguous to one another, and thus beholden to one another. As much as some of us in the coastal and northern urban archipelagos might want to wall off the old Confederacy with Trumpian structures that Atlanta would pay for, or easily write off the fortunes of the flyover states we barely discern at cruising altitude, we are our fellow citizens' keeper. The ubiquity and impact of communications and media technology has reduced geographic chasms to intimate bonds of awareness, and with it, an assumed moral obligation. We might pull off ignorance or negligence of the plight of others across this continent for a while, but eventually, through the compulsion of conscience amongst the good or sense of emergent necessity amongst the wise, we will be forced to respond. The unheeded call of conscience soon becomes the uncritical call to violence, as has played out across the ages and places. What we saw in Sacramento last week is but a pale premonition of what unchecked passions could portend. If this year's circuitous circus of a presidential campaign has revealed anything, it is the anger of the lost and left behind, the frustration of the minimized and the marginal, the disenfranchisement of the middle-aged and the disillusionment of the young. The political polls have circled back to meet in the rage-fueled movements of Trump and Sanders. This answers, without fully explaining, why underemployed working-class white men deify a jet-setting Northeastern billionaire with whom they share nothing other than as an object of fantasy, and why 19-year-old hipsters and undergrads generate rock star adoration for a Brooklyn-born son of Jewish immigrants, an anachronistic socialist refugee from a 1930s labor movement documentary on basic cable that they'd never watch, who they would more likely encounter as a fussy old guy at the diner complaining about the temperature of his soup than as a popular prophet of social media revolution. Yeah, I know the temperature of the room. All right. As soul icon Sam Cooke warned us, a change is gonna come. The question is whether we will be a critical part of that change or passive witness to it. Whether we will take retrospective pride in having made a difference or feel lasting regret in having not helped to shape the outcome. Former Labor Secretary Robert Reich's latest book, Saving Capitalism, offers a powerful prescription for expansive, enduring change that transcends the economic, ranging from a significant shift in corporate structure to electoral finance reform. But amongst his many insights, he focuses on what seems to be the most compelling: the birth of a movement that brings together the worries and wants, the needs and aspirations that we all share. From the gun-toting, out-of-work Iowa auto worker to the graduate degree-bearing, barely employed, and heavily bearded Portland barista. This effort to unite seemingly disparate constituencies is as counterintuitive as it could be radically successful, as most paradigm-shifting outside-of-the-box efforts often are. And this coming together across existing divides also enables those of us who have been fortunate to have been insulated from the struggles of our post-recession new normal, and those of us who have found political success in regional efforts, to share our insights, to model our experiences, and to wield our efforts toward a greater good for more of us. And it just so happens that we here at Rotary are poised at the right time, in the right place, with the right tool to make the most of this fraught and fertile moment, the four-way test. And though this proprietary process is a distillation of the great ideals and effective change agents of faith and philosophy, its simple and direct dicta provide incisive remedy for this urgent moment. More than what we as Rotarians think, say, and do, the four-way test provides a template to organize, inspire, and act across ideological, demographic, and economic bounds. First, is it the truth? Can we cut through the spin of media manipulation and the echo chambers of our artificially constructed tribes, reaching deeply into honest self-awareness to discern those things that truly bind us. What do we need to live a good, comfortable life? What do we want in forging a purposeful life? How can I best care for my needs and support the realization of my family's needs and support the realization of their hopes and dreams? And how might I help others to attain these for themselves? It is only through the arrival at these essential, foundational, and shared truths that we will move forward toward a better future together. Is it fair to all concerned? Can we truly pursue any high ideal, be it love, compassion, or even faith, if it is not first firmly founded upon justice? From our earliest conscious days, we are hardwired with an acute sense of right and wrong. The jadedness of adulthood may provide distractions and other rationalizations, but at our core, most acutely aware and stark moments of clarity, we know what is fair and what is not. Addressing issues of economic, social, racial, and legal justice and equality will not only assuage the seething anger fueling the current climate, but even more importantly, it will allay the criticism, the cynicism, and detachment felt by so many who are alienated from the systems that are the basis of our shared community. There is nothing more desperate nor more dangerous than the concession of those who have given up and given in with little to lose. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Obviously, a higher level goal built upon the first two. An assumption of another's goodwill and the striving to create relationships as the building blocks of community are about trust and connection. Both are indispensable for a stable society, and both must be long-term goals toward creating a more perfect union. And finally, will it be beneficial to all concerned? A benefit can be a relative notion, but again, there are universals that we can all assume if we are being simple and direct. Individual comfort and dignity, an extension of that which we want for ourselves to others, and a desire to realize the loftiest ideals we can envision for not just ourselves, but for succeeding generations. And there is another eminent quality of Rotary that speaks to both the needs of our current crisis and what I believe, as a person of faith, to be the key to ultimate success of any righteous objective. That is, our ability to align the fruits of the Spirit with the work of our hands. And that Rotary notion? Service. In my tradition, there is a word, avodah. It means both work on a human level and the service of God through worship. But this is far more than linguistic coincidence. It is an inspiring vision of human integration, the blending of our reaching up toward the divine and our reaching out to others. But even more, when we extend ourselves to those in need, we are in essence extending ourselves to the divine within and around us. Our acts in this world have consequences and repercussions beyond this world. And it is only in an awareness of that alignment between our spiritual and social selves that we truly understand the impact of our service in this world. Very few things impress my 15-year-old son these days, apart from the latest feats in sports and music. And so I was surprised that he offered a glimmer of any interest when I shared with him my experience with you last year. I attended a remarkable weekly Rotary lunch in a modest gymnasium in Seattle's Central District. But this wasn't just any outing in an urban community center. This gym was the heart and soul of the Rotary Boys and Girls Club, a place where generations of young people have found purpose and shared passion, crafted connection, and sought security. But my son knew before I the renown of that place, a haven and hatching ground for local, regional, and professional basketball players coming of age in the city during challenging times. This sanctuary continues to provide opportunity and options, especially for those whose range of choices can be as limited as they are troubling. This club is an icon and symbol of the power of Rotary to sustain community, to embody ideals, and to offer possibility to heal the world, bringing together those who have with those who need, those who strive and those who support, affirming what we share in our common humanity, what we possess as children of the cosmos, and what we can achieve as partners with the ultimate one. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi. And thank you, Ingrid. This has been such a special day, and it's just going to get a bit better because Tom Betts has an announcement to make. Come on up. And the boys are returning. Excellent. And while he is coming to the stage, could all the past presidents also come to the stage? And could Kathy's incoming leadership team also come right near the stage?
Today I have two pleasant tasks to perform as my last duties as immediate past president. As you might remember in the totem a couple of weeks ago, we were saddened to learn that Mark Davis had decided that he would not be able to take on the position of president in the 2017-18 year. So the nominating committee adjourned. I got together quickly, and we met and presented to the board of directors what we all now consider as an excellent candidate for our 2017-18 president. Won't you please stand? Mark Wright. Congratulations, Mark. We are really thankful to have you. And now it is my pleasure and my duty to give to Sue her official past president's pin. Aww. So there you go. Enjoy that diamond.
Hi.
Sue, I'm going to interrupt here for a second. As on behalf of all the past presidents, do you recall the email exchange we had last fall when you announced you're going to have the after party? I indicated this was going to be the year of the martini. I have it on good word that the martini consumption on Thursday nights in this town has gone up. So all the past presidents want to propose a toast to you for a job well done. Cheers. Cheers.
Thank you all. I'm going to make you stand here while I say a few words for Kathy. Where is Kathy Gibson? All right, you need to make your way up here. So I knew Kathy Gibson before this past year and always have been impressed, but I got to know her this year. Early on, we went to the Large Club Conference together in Milwaukee. After an evening social event, Kathy proposed walking home. Now, note, Kathy climbs mountains, right? I don't even wear a Fitbit. So I'm thinking, I think I'm a little hesitant, but I'm kind of intrigued. So I looked over at her, and she's holding an Evian bottle filled with Milwaukee's version of the Manhattan. And I'm like, I knew I liked her. So I thought, I can survive this if I have my own. So I filled my Evian bottle with the Manhattans, and we proceeded to walk home. We had the best ideas. We don't remember them, but they were excellent. And my favorite part is, you know me, I trip and spill, and every time I did, Kathy said, I'll drink to that. So Kathy, I cannot tell you how thrilled I am to pass the gavel to you. And I'm also gonna pass this jar of Manhattans. I got a little education from the boys at Serafina, so I think it's good. And there's an IOU for the maraschino cherries that they have from Italy. So these two things, Kathy, I am so thrilled. You are prepared and ready, and you will soar, and you will take us with you. Thank you so much. Do you want to say anything?
Thank you, Sue. And on behalf of the club, a very grateful club, we want to thank you for a year of service.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Holy cow, thank you.
It's not a Manhattan, but it'll help toward it.
It's not a Manhattan. I'll open it later. All right, thanks everyone. So I'm going to close things out. And so you guys, thank you for being up here. I just wanted you to see this amazing group of people that have led this club over those. A round of applause for them. And while I'm closing, if I could also have my leadership team this year join these guys over there. And then we're going to be wrapping today's program. Day one of the first grade, I made a grand entrance into Mrs. Satchwell's classroom. A burst of energy in slippery-soled shoes led to a full body slide across the classroom floor. Thankfully, my father was still waiting at the door. He helped me scuff the bottom of my shoes and sent me back in, encouraged to keep being myself. Nearly 3 years ago, Paul Ishii called asking me to consider serving as your president. I was profoundly honored. And equally uncertain. I told him my concern around all the things I was not. Paul's response: "We know who you are. That's why we're asking." An eclectic group of members I called my kitchen cabinet met once a month to brainstorm ideas and perspectives. You know who you are, and I thank you. Past presidents, your steadfast insight and support has been invaluable. Each week you have given me permission to be myself, to bring my authenticity, and to bring my perspectives. And in return, you have brought yours. This organization and you delight me. Where has the time all gone to? Haven't done half the things I want to. Oh well, we'll catch up some other time. This day was just a token. Too many words are still unspoken. Oh well, we'll catch up some other time. Just when the fun is starting, comes the time for parting. Let's just be glad for what we've had and what's to come. There's so much more embracing still to be done, but time is racing. Oh well, we'll catch up some other time. Just when the fun is starting, comes the time for parting. So let's just be glad for what we've had and what's to come. 'Cause there's so much more embracing still to be done, but time is racing. Oh well, we'll catch up some other time. Oh well, we'll catch up some other time.